So here are the steps. That's making sense now, right? The non-awareness set. You're taking well, you can call it non-attention if you want. I just call it non-awareness. And it's my set, so I get to annoy me what I want, all right? So, the first thing you do is you ask an orienting question. It just tells you, this is the platform from which we need to leave. This is the platform which the train is right now, and the train is about to leave the platform forever. Okay? Orienting question. We'll have a look at some of those orienting questions a little later on. You can make up your own for now, just play with it. The next thing you do, and you probably heard me do this as well, is you're going to use your echo effect. Something you've been well practiced in by now. Use the echo effect. And you all heard me use, or saw me use that, right? The next thing you do, actually, you know what? This is what we'll do now. For now, once you've done the echo effect, go back to the shifting attention, so we'll do this. Okay. When you get the echo effect, write down whatever this is. I'll explain why later, right? So you can have an orienting question, you're going to echo it back, you write it down, and then you're going to shift their attention. Yes? And from here, you just cycle right back to there. So you'll write down whatever they say, echo it back, write it down, shift their attention, echo it back, write it down, shift their attention, and do that loop maybe 4 or 5 times. Does that make sense? No. Okay, so what are you experiencing right now?
Confusion.
You are confused, aren't you?
I am.
Confusion. So...
Is this the same thing you're actually doing, or...
So, how are you feeling inside, other than confused? Beyond confusion, what else are you?
I'm getting a crick in my neck.
You're getting a crink in your neck. Crink in neck. So your confusion, crink in neck. Oh, you've got a crink in your neck. Okay. Mm-hmm. What's happening in there? A little lower.
My arm is on my stomach.
Your arm is on your stomach. Arm on stomach. Does that answer your question? What's happening there? Arm on stomach, arm on stomach. Okay. Now we go into this.
But it's not a loop. It's a cascade down.
Oh yeah,
down,
You're just basically repeating this. It's not a loop. You're just repeating these steps.
I
that's all.
See. Okay.
We're talking about going back to step rather than looping a step.
Okay.
Okay.
I understand. Thank you.
Sorry, my visual information was lacking. So do you all get the exercise? I want you to write down all the different kind of things that people tell you. It'll be things they see, hear, feel, sense, think about, notice, don't notice. Does it make sense to you guys? And I just want you to write a list, maybe 4 or 5 items, and I'll show you how to use that in a moment's time. Does that sound cool to you? So you just need 5 minutes for this. Just take 5 minutes with a partner, go both ways. I won't switch you around, anything like that. Just go both ways, get a nice list. Importantly, before you start, guys, settle down. Settle down. Settle down. We have one question and one more bit of instruction. The important thing is, when you have 4 or 5 items on a list for both of you, come back on your own and sit down so we can actually continue. Because this is just the half step into something more important. Is that okay with you guys? So this is not a time to talk to the chit-chat thing. Go ahead, Rashid. Wait a second, guys.
I know that last step, AL stands is shifting the attention, but I've been asked, and I've been asking a couple people, what does the AL actually stand for?
So AL just stands for Attention Shifting Language.
Attention shifting
language, which is basically any of this. A reunification, an awareness thing, change of sense, as you're feeling the arm, what else are you seeing?
Right, thank you.
Any of these maneuvers is fine. Off you go, guys. Go ahead.
When you're having the person notice other parts, other things, other feelings, they don't need to be related. They don't need to flow.
No, not at all. Not in the
Vegas. The most ridiculous thing,
Absolutely, that's fine. All we're looking for now is we're trying to take a journey through people's non-conscious experience.
Basically, it was the exercise yesterday doing extraneous
kind of, but it's
Well,
not quite as,
around.
it's still within their range of experience. We're not talking about, oh, notice how there's a satellite flying in space, because that's just outside of their range of experience. So it'll be in their physical experience, something they can actually hear, but they weren't paying attention to, something they actually feel, but weren't paying attention to, something they actually could be thinking about. So it's got to be something which is within their range of experience rather than something that exists in the universe.
Right, but each experience is
It's
totally
irrelevant.
separate.
Yeah,
from the other.
sure. Absolutely.
Thanks.
I don't know if it was common to anyone else, but I noticed that when I was writing the questions, writing the responses down, it kind of took me out of state.
Sure, it does.
Yeah.
And that's actually totally normal. I don't normally recommend that people take notes whilst they're doing a therapy session because it puts you in a very different mental space. We're actually going to, what we've done right now is just as a setup so I can show you how to actually use this to do the non-awareness set. You haven't done the non-awareness set yet. This is just a setup exercise. We're like halfway into beginning it. You're about to see where we're going with this. This is going to be a lot of fun.
I feel like perhaps I'm cheating a little bit on these exercises, but as my partner is asking questions, I find that that is the easiest way for me to turn the table and get into his unconscious process.
That can actually happen, yeah. This is why conversation hypnosis works so well, because it's part of, whenever someone talks to you, they're already telling you about themselves. So, yeah, but that's not part of what we're doing today, right? So, one last question, then we'll actually start using this stuff. Go ahead.
One thing I noticed is that yes/no questions seem to be kind of a dead end. I had better experience if I asked open-ended questions.
Yes.
What are you feeling?
Yes,
What's that
exactly,
look doing?
exactly. This is a very important point. So you all have a list of like 3 to 5 answers you got when you shifted attention.